Hey James, you back off night shift yet? I saw your clothes in the washing machine.
Yep, I stopped by at the house to get changed a little while ago. I went straight back to work though. Morning, babe.
Good morning, sweetie. Sorry, I must have been asleep when you got back.
No kidding, you were out like a light.
Henry was crying non-stop throughout the night. I felt like I was getting up every 5 minutes to calm him down. When I finally did get off to sleep, it was already morning.
Sounds like you've been through the mill. I suspected it might have been a rough one for you. That's why I didn't wake you up.
The house is an absolute pigsty, too. Sorry, sweetie, I'll get everything tidied up as soon as I can. Are you hungry? Did you have anything to eat while you were home?
Oh, I had some cup noodles at the office before I came back.
Sorry I didn't have anything ready for you to eat.
Don't sweat it. I'll just grab something from the store on my break. It's no big deal.
If you rushed straight back out to the office after changing clothes, does that mean you still have work left to do?
Yep. I have a bunch of menial computer stuff still left to take care of. You keep hearing all this stuff about how AI is gonna steal our jobs. But I wish I'd hurry up and take this crap off my hands. I'm swamped.
Sounds like you're having a tough time of it, too. Is this a busy time of year for you?
It's less the time of year and more that we're short-staffed right now. 2 of the girls have been away on maternity leave for months now. And Dave fell off a ladder while doing some DIY at his house last week. To make matters worse, we've had 3 resignations in the last month alone. We're stretched to a breaking point.
Are you at least taking enough breaks, or at least fitting naps in every now and then? You're more likely to get into a car accident when you're sleep-deprived, you know. I'm worried about you, sweetie.
It's fine. I still manage to squeeze in a cheeky nap here and there, and I take breaks when I can. The boss said I can have 2 hours to myself to catch up on my sleep at 2 p.m. today, since I stayed up all night at the office last night.
I'm pleased to hear that. But still, 2 hours isn't a lot of sleep after you just stayed up all night. You must be shattered.
Oh, you're right. I could probably use more. But you're hardly sleeping like a princess yourself. Did you even get 2 hours last night?
You do have a point. But still, I'm at home all the time, so I'm fortunate enough to be able to squeeze in a nap whenever Henry dozes off during the day.
That reminds me, have you been able to feed him properly lately? I remember you told me your milkers weren't producing the goods. You went for a massage to try and get things moving again before, right?
Everything seems to be back to normal now. We actually have a lot of milk left over in those bottles in the fridge. I've been gradually moving him onto baby food lately.
Oh, really? I can't believe how fast he's growing up. I barely get to see him all these days. It's kind of eating away at me. I can't help but feel like I'm missing out on his childhood, what with pretty much living at the office. Does he even know I'm his dad anymore?
Of course he does, silly. He always has a big beaming smile on his face whenever you come home.
I hope he's not just doing it out of politeness.
You must be joking, right? He's not even old enough to understand the concept of politeness yet. You're an amazing dad, James. It really means a lot to me that you're thinking of us despite being so busy with work.
You guys are the reason I do it, babe. I'd never be able to endure these ridiculous working hours if not for you two. You give me the strength to carry on.
Thank you, honey. Having you and Henry around helps me power through when times are tough, too.
Sorry I'm not there to help out with things around the house. I know dads are normally supposed to help out with babies and housework and things like that.
It's okay, sweetie. I understand. Your work situation is making that pretty much impossible right now. I'm not gonna lie, though. I might struggle to keep on top of everything if things at work seem like they're gonna carry on like this for a long time. Do you think things might get better soon? If they don't, would you consider finding a new job?
I hate to say it, but there's no end in sight. To be honest with you, babe, I've already been thinking about it. Family time is important to me, and if I carry on not being able to see you guys because they keep making me spend virtually all my waking hours there, I'm going to start questioning why I'm even working for them in the first place. Thanks for everything that you do, Daisy. I really appreciate you. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you, James. Hey, James, roughly when do you think you'll be done at the office today? I was hoping you could pick up some sports drinks and vitamins from the store on your way home.
Sorry, it's gonna be a while longer yet. I was supposed to be here till 7 p.m., but Reggie from sales called in sick and now I've got to do his night shift. Holy crap, I'm gonna be working for 20 hours straight.
Wow.
Did something happen? Do you feel sick again?
I have a fever again. I think I caught a cold from Henry. He was sniffling and sneezing something chronic for all of last week, remember? It was only a matter of time before I got something.
Ah, damn it. What's your temperature? Did you take it?
It's 38.8 degrees right now.
Wow, that's really high. Do you have chills? Does your fever seem like it's gonna get worse?
I have a feeling it will. I've got a pounding headache and I feel like I could spew up at any minute. I was planning on asking you to watch Henry while I got some sleep after you got home, but it doesn't sound like you're going to be in any position to do that.
I'm so sorry, babe. It really doesn't look like I'm going to be able to break away from this place anytime soon. Can you hold out until tomorrow morning?
Don't worry, I think I can just about power through till then if I really try my hardest. But even still, surely you'll be exhausted when you get home from your night shift. You'll probably be ready for bed yourself.
But you're suffering, babe.
You hardly have it easy yourself either, James. A 20-hour shift? I mean, Jesus Christ. What kind of company do you work for? How can I complain about a cold when you're working so hard for me and Henry?
You're the best wife a guy could ever hope to have, Daisy. I'll be home as soon as I possibly can. I'm sorry I'm working so many hours lately. I feel awful.
It's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. It can't be helped. I'll get through this. You just watch me. Henry's diapers need changing whether I've got a cold or not, so there's nothing else for it but to grit my teeth and power on. There's no denying it. Things are tough for us both right now, but I know we can get through this if we work together. What do you say? Shall we show the world what we're made of?
Yeah, that's the spirit. I'll be home with your sports drinks and vitamins as soon as I get off the night shift. If there's anything else you want me to get, just let me know.
Daisy, how long do you intend on forcing me to wait? Do you know what time it is? Is that Kylie? You're James's sister, right? How come you're messaging me out of the blue? A long time no see. Can I help you with something? You can't be serious. Stop screwing around and come and pick up your kid already. I have work first thing tomorrow. I never agreed to have him until this time, and it's rude of you to assume I would without even saying anything. You have Henry? What? But Henry's asleep here with me. What are you talking about? How can that be? If Henry's with you, then whose kid am I watching? I'll be honest with you, Kylie. I don't have a clue what's going on here. Henry's most definitely here with me. So what's going on? Are you babysitting right now? Yes, I'm watching a little boy James dropped off at my place this morning. He asked me to watch him because he said you and him have plans as a couple today. To be honest, I wasn't super eager about the idea, but he told me you guys have barely had any time to yourselves lately, and it sounded like you could use a break. But then James never came to collect him when he said he would. I tried calling him countless times, but he didn't answer, which is why I'm messaging you now. Oh, I remember now. We exchanged contacts a couple of years back, didn't we? I totally forgot because we never message each other. Forget that. I'm asking you, what's going on with this little boy asleep on my sofa? I'm sorry, Kylie, but I don't know what to tell you. Henry's been here at home with me all day. James went to work first thing this morning. He never said anything about going to your place, and we had no plans together today. Oh, wait. What? Whose kid is this then? Whose son have I been looking after all day? Did James really drop him off at your place this morning? Yep, he messaged me out of the blue last night asking if I'd have him today. He never messages me, so that was a surprise in and of itself. Now that you mention it, he did say you and him don't speak that much. Yes, and that was an intentional decision on my part. Really? Do you mind if I ask why? Did something happen between you and James? I'm the kind of person who struggles to say no when people ask me for favors. So me and James having any kind of relationship was never going to work. I got sick of the way he always used to ask me to do things for him. One day it'd be picking up a parcel, the next his suit from the dry cleaners. Sometimes he'd even have me do his grocery shopping. Eventually, I reached my wit's end and told him enough was enough. I told him I wasn't going to let him treat me like his errand girl any longer, and we've barely spoken since. Wow, I had no idea. But seriously, whose kid is this? I could have sworn James said it was your Henry. Did I mishear him? Could it be one of his friends' kids? I'm really not sure. The idea of him leaving one of his friends' kids with his estranged sister strikes me as a little odd. Yeah, you can say that again. It's even weirder that he left whoever's kid this is at your place without so much as a word about it to me. No way. Did James have a baby with someone else behind my back? I really couldn't say. I feel weird even saying it. Surely that's ridiculous, right? Of course it is. There's no way he'd ever do that. I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for this. I don't know, Daisy. I hate to say this, but now that you mention it, maybe that is the most likely explanation for what's going on here. Or rather, it's literally all I can think of. You really think so? One thing's for sure, if that's what's going on, I'll kill him. God damn him. Why does my brother have to be such an asshole? You know what else? He's almost never at home lately. He said it was because things are tough at work, but I'm starting to see it in a different light now. Do you think he really is at work? He's always telling me about how overstretched they are at the office these days, what with things like people going off on maternity leave or calling in sick, and him being left to pick up the pieces. I believed him before because I didn't think I had any reason to doubt him, but now I'm not so sure. I've had my hands so full with looking after Henry and keeping everything at home in order that I've barely even had time to think. If he really does have a kid with someone else, that obviously means he's been cheating on me. I don't think it's out of the question. I got cheated on by an ex-boyfriend once. He gave me the same pack of lies, overtime this, project deadlines that. All the while, he was out on dates with some floozy behind my back. But still, I can't believe this is happening. James is so kind. He always seems to be thinking of me, and he always says the nicest, most thoughtful things. Talk is cheap, Daisy. What is he actually doing? Does he help out around the house or with Henry? No, not at all. But I figured he couldn't help it because things are so hectic for him at work. But that only applies if things really are hectic at work. What's the truth, I wonder? Do you think there's a chance he might just be saying all these nice things to trick you? You know, like keep you sweet so you don't start getting suspicious and questioning his near total absence from your lives? Trick me? Think about it. If he plays the model husband and unfortunate victim of work over text messages, you're less likely to start wondering what he's actually up to when he spends all this time away from the house. If you look at it in terms of what he's actually doing or how much time he actually spends with you, it sounds like it's next to nothing, right? You're right. Actually, listen to this one. So this was last week. I came down with a fever and didn't have the energy to look after Henry like I normally do. James couldn't make it home. But I convinced myself it couldn't be helped because it's not like it was his choice to be at work, and I was sure he'd come home and take over while I rested up if he could. That must have been really difficult for you. The thought of him lying about that is just... Oh my God, that means he'd rather spend time with his lover than look after me while I'm sick? If this is really what's going on, I'll never forgive him. And so you shouldn't. When's he supposed to be getting back tonight? He said he's on the late shift. He said he'd be home sometime after midnight. I see. Daisy, we've got some investigating to do. We're gonna get to the bottom of what's going on with this kid on my sofa, and while we're at it, let's find out if he really is spending all his time at work. James, when are you coming to collect your son? It's 10 p.m. already.
I'll be over at 1 a.m. the latest. Sorry, Kylie, I had no idea we'd be out this late.
Fine, I'm waiting.
I'll be over as soon as I can.
All right. I must say, James, your little boy is so cute, but I can't put my finger on who he looks like. Come to think of it, I'm not so sure he looks like either you or his mom.
Oh, really? You're not? I think he has Daisy's eyes and my nose. Wouldn't you say so? I'm sure he'll start to look more like us when he gets bigger.
You think? It's hard for me to imagine him looking anything like either of you.
Geez, Kylie, he's still just a baby. Give it time. That's just how they are at that age.
You and Daisy are both really good looking, so whoever he ends up taking after, I'm sure he'll be a hit with the ladies. I'm amazed at how well defined and striking his facial features are despite him being so young.
Right? He was always going to be handsome with me and Daisy as his parents.
But is he really your son? I find it hard to believe.
Huh? Of course he's ours. What are you even saying? Wait, are you accusing me of something?
It's only natural your sister would have her doubts, James. Henry's been at home with me all day after all. So go on, let's hear it. Whose kid did you leave with Kylie?
Huh? Who's this?
It's Daisy. Hi.
Are you using my sister's phone? Why would you two be together?
Your sister messaged me, so I went over to her place. Well, who does the kid belong to?
No. Please don't get the wrong idea here, babe. I had my reasons for what I did, I swear.
That doesn't answer my question. You told Kylie the little boy she was watching was our son, Henry, didn't you? You lied. Before you start speaking, I need to make it clear that I'll flip out if you try feeding me any bullshit about him being your friend's son.
No, I'm serious, Daisy. I had my reasons. I'm dealing with a few circumstances right now.
I'll just come straight out with it. You had a kid with another woman behind my back, didn't you?
Oh my god, what? Have you lost your mind? No way!
I see. I guess you won't mind if we do a DNA test then? I hate to accuse you of something like that, but it's the only explanation that makes any sense to me right now. If I'm wrong, then give me an explanation I can believe. I shouldn't have to say this, but you'll be making a big mistake if you lie to me now. I suggest you think very carefully about what you say next.
You're right.
Excuse me?
That kid, he's my son from another woman.
I knew it.
But make no mistake, baby, you're the only one I love. You're the apple of my eye, you and only you. I never meant to get my lover pregnant.
So what if you didn't mean to? You done goofed the moment you cheated on me. I'll never be able to forgive you for this.
Please listen to me, baby. I knew what I did was wrong. But he's still my son, and I still love him. What was I supposed to do? Abandon him? There's no way I could do that.
I get it, James. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too. Anyway, why did you dump your love child on your sister?
His mom got hospitalized with pneumonia. She was supposed to be leaving him with one of her friends, but she couldn't have him for the whole day. I didn't know what to do, and it was an emergency, so I figured dropping him off at Kylie's was my last option.
I get it. I bet you thought Kylie would have no way of finding out the truth because you and her were estranged, and me and her haven't spoken in years. You really didn't think this through, did you?
Look, I'm so sorry, baby. Please forgive me.
If you're genuinely sorry, I want an honest answer. If I find out you lied to me afterwards, we are absolutely 100% getting a divorce.
Fine, I will. I can be honest. Let me show you. Go on, I'm ready.
You've barely been home at all lately. Were you out meeting your lover all this time?
Yes. I used to stop off at her place on the way back to work.
That's funny. If what you were saying was true, you shouldn't have had any time to go and see her. All those days you spent working without breaks, all those early shifts that turned into evenings, that turned into nights. I can only conclude you were lying about being at work to go and see your lover. Am I right?
Yes.
I know. Why don't you phone your boss and ask him to send you the rota? Then you can show me exactly when you were working and exactly when you were out spending time with her.
I'm not sure I can do that, babe.
Why not?
Well, you see, the thing is, I don't work there anymore.
Excuse me?
I changed jobs just over a year ago. I don't work lates or nights anymore.
Wow. Which can only mean you were out with your lover last week when I was ill. You said you were working the night shift. You lied, didn't you?
Yes.
Do you have any idea how much I struggled with looking after Henry that night? My head was pounding like I'd been 10 rounds with Mike Tyson, and I must have thrown up at least 5 times. I was up and down like a yo-yo, calming Henry down whenever he cried, feeling like I was about to pass out at any moment.
There is no excuse for what I did, babe, and I won't try to make any. You should have never had to go through that. It's just that me and my girlfriend had been planning on going to Disney World on that day for a long time. I wanted to cancel when I found out you were ill, but knew that she'd be furious with me if I did.
Wow. So not upsetting your lover over a freaking Disney World trip is more important to you than my health? You're a despicable scumbag and I wish we never met. I can't take this anymore. Me and you are finished.
Please, baby, I swear, I'll never do anything like this again. I'm begging you to find it in your heart to forgive me.
I'd have to be the biggest moron on the planet to trust a lowlife like you again. Hell, I feel like the biggest moron on the planet for trusting you in the first place. You had me totally fooled with your sweet talk, didn't you, you manipulative asshole?
I wasn't lying when I said that I loved you, Daisy.
That's enough. I've heard enough. I'll never believe another word that comes out of your mouth. If anything, I just get more and more pissed off every time you speak. James, it's Kylie. I think it's about time you gave up. You're only driving her further away if you keep trying to stop her like this.
Kylie, how did things end up like this? This was never supposed to happen.
Things ended up like this because you're a disgraceful, shameless liar. You deserve everything that's coming to you. Anyway, we all know that stuff about being swamped with work was a lie, which should mean you're available now, right? Come and pick up your lover's kid already.
Wait, what about Daisy? Did she say anything about what she's gonna do next?
Her and Henry will be staying over at my place tonight, but she made it very clear she doesn't want to see your face. I'll hand over your bastard child at the doorstep, and then you can go home immediately. I'll be telling Mom and Dad about everything you did.
Wait a sec, Kylie. Does this mean Daisy's gonna divorce me? Is she serious about going through with it?
She says she'll be going to stay with her parents for the time being. If you want to talk to her, she said you'll have to drive out to her parents' place.
Her parents' place?
There's a good chance her mom and dad will beat the living daylights out of you, but if you're serious about her, you'll just have to face the music like a man. You've been rotten to that poor girl, and I'm ashamed to call you my brother.
No, this can't be happening. Daisy and Henry are my world, my everything. I can't bear the thought of losing them.
How could you mean that? If they were really your everything, you wouldn't have lied to her for God knows how long while she struggled to run a household and raise your son all on her own while you were out with your lover. None of us will ever be able to believe another word you say. Oh, it looks like Daisy wants to speak to you again. I'm passing over the phone now.
Daisy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I mean it, baby. I feel awful.
Actions speak louder than words, James. If you're genuinely sorry, then prove it.
I will. Of course I will. I'll do anything. Just say the word. Please, just forgive me, baby. I'm begging you here.
Just say the word? Okay, I do have a few words for you, actually. Child support and compensation. If you're sorry, you'll pay up every last cent of what I ask for.
Child support? Oh my God. You're serious, aren't you? I didn't think you'd actually go through with the divorce.
Then you're as delusional as you are shameless. Just because we're finished doesn't mean you get to escape responsibility for our son. You helped bring a life into the world, and you will fulfill your role as his dad, even if just financially. You'll be working to pay child support until he's an adult. You lied to me about having to do overtime for so long, but you're going to need to do some for real with how much money you're about to owe me. After that, I swiftly divorced James and received a hefty sum in compensation. Me and Henry are currently living with my mom and dad at their place, and the four of us are having a great time together. James desperately begged me to take him back for a little while after the events of today's episode. To my surprise, it seems like he was genuinely broken up about the divorce. And he pestered me for months and months on end until he finally realized his struggling was in vain. Something tells me both sets of parents, as well as his sister, flipping out at him might also have had something to do with him finally taking the hint. Eventually, the woman he had a son with behind my back stopped responding to his messages. As things stand, he hasn't heard from her or seen his son in months. I heard it was because she wasn't happy about the way he was desperately begging me to take him back. I guess he must have been sweet-talking her into trusting him the whole time, just like he did with me. I'm pleased she finally realized what a scumbag he is. I got a message from Kylie a few days ago telling me she woke up to 57 missed calls and 97 messages from James, telling her how alone and isolated he feels after being disowned by his entire family. Sounds like he finally reached breaking point. Sorry, asshole, but what goes around comes around. It probably goes without saying, but this is the fate that awaits anyone who lies, cheats, and deceives their way through life.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
China, thank you so much for letting me know about your wedding and congratulations. I know you guys don't normally come out my way, but it was nice to see the both of you.
This has nothing to do with you though, Leia. I may be your daughter-in-law, but that does not give you the right to think that you need to be there for my wedding. We only came out because Jacob wanted to grab some things and just happened to let you know about the wedding.
You don't have to be so distant with me anymore. I understand that you may feel that you can't be open with me, but I'm telling you that I won't bite. And by this point, it's been a year now since you married Jacob, right? So, I'm just saying that I'm happy that you two are finally going to have a wedding. And that it'd be nice if you and I could be closer. Anyway, I'll be looking forward to your guys' wedding.
Hey, I'm not giving this wedding for you, Leah. I know that you're all happy about coming, but that doesn't mean we all are.
I know that, China. I'm telling you that I'm happy for the both of you and look forward to seeing those smiles on your faces. And of course, seeing your guys' faces will make me happy as well.
Is that so? Then is that all you wanted to say to me now? You don't have to talk to me if it's to tell me something like that. Tell your son that, and that should be enough for you, right?
This is what I mean by you acting so distant with me. You don't have to keep being all negative about me, just wanting to tell you a simple message. I wanted to make sure you knew how happy I am for you two is all. Telling you that shouldn't be a problem, right?
Well, if that's all you have to say, then I guess. But that should mean we could stop talking now, right? I'm busy right now getting ready for the event. I still need to make a bunch of phone calls, as well as head to the wedding hall to prepare.
1 second. I have one other important thing that I'd like to talk with you about. So just give me a bit more of your time.
Come on, what else? Didn't I just tell you that I'm busy making sure the wedding is planned out? I don't have all day for you, so make this very quick.
I was wondering about how you acted today when you stopped by my house earlier. It seemed that you weren't all too happy about something. And when I say that, I mean it felt as though you're holding something against me.
How I acted? This is just how I normally am, so it kind of hurts hearing you say that about me.
You haven't always acted like that, right? I know for a fact that you only act that way when you're around me, right? When you're with Jacob, you're a lot more polite, I'm sure. Because if you acted like that with him too, I don't think a relationship could have worked out between you both.
Well, I'm his wife. I'd never act the way I do with you in front of him.
And there must be some reason behind you acting that way, right? If you don't want him to get upset with you over the way you act with me, then you should perhaps just open up a little. You can tell me anything, and I'll make sure not to take it personally.
When I'm around you? No, I don't think I will open up. Listen, I don't like being around you, and so I'm not going to change the way I act. And I know that you're a single mother, and on top of that, you're poor, so I have to be rude to you. I mean, I can't let myself be nice to you, or you might start to think your situation as a mother is okay.
Well, now, I can see that you do think it's okay to look down on me. At least that clears things up a little. Well, if that's really the way you feel about me, then I'm not going to force you to change that attitude. I do think it's a bit odd that that's the reason you're upset around me, but I'm not going to try and change your views of me. But when it comes to the wedding, can you at least be a little bit more friendly with me?
Only during the wedding? Why should I be more friendly with you then?
Well, because your parents will also be at the wedding, right? And Jacob's co-workers and bosses will be there as well. If you keep acting the way you have with me there, then it may create a bad image of us, and things might not turn out the way you'd like them to if everyone is concerned about you.
So you're asking me to be nice to save your own pride? I never thought you had any pride to begin with, so it should have been alright for me to be rude to you.
I don't want people thinking that you're willing to disrespect your mother-in-law on your special day is all. And when it comes to Jacob, I don't think he'd like having the two of us at odds during the wedding, right? If you make yourself look bad by acting out against me, then you may only make things worse for your relationship.
Yeah, I don't want to be giving everyone the wrong idea, right? Although, I'm sure when the other people in my family get to know you more, they'll think the same way I do about you.
What? I am fine with you hating me for whatever reasons you may have, but at least during the wedding can you play nice? That's fine, right? It's not asking much for me to ask you to just act as though there's nothing between us for a few hours, right?
Alright, understood. I'll try my best to not be rude to you. And don't start talking back to me if I slip up once or twice. After all, you're asking me a lot more than you should be with the status you have.
I'm really asking you to do this one thing for everyone. Not just me. Hopefully knowing that will help you make the right decisions. China, do you think that you can come to the waiting room that I'm in? I want to talk with you about what just happened.
No, thank you. I'm in the middle of getting my makeup done. And by the time that's over, I'll have to be ready for the wedding to start.
Well, I don't mind if you come after that as long as we have a chance to talk. Just a little time will do, so can you be here soon?
I don't want to, so it's not happening. And by the way, it's not normal of you to ask to talk with the bride right before the wedding is about to begin. Everyone knows that this is the most busy time for the bride, and she has a lot on her mind that doesn't involve you. So stop trying.
That's right, and to be honest, I don't want to have to talk with you either right now about what happened. After all, today's supposed to be Jacob's and your big day. But you did do something that was not okay.
Well, if you understand that, then you should stop trying with me. It's like you're trying to start something for no good reason. If I did something that you didn't like, then maybe you should keep it to yourself until after the wedding.
Well, I want to talk with you about how you just acted with me. But it wasn't just me that you acted that way towards. You also acted rude towards Jacob's mentor. Do you not know what you've done to him?
Jacob's mentor? Are you talking about that old man that was standing next to you a bit ago? That guy isn't even family or close friends to me, so he shouldn't even be here. That's why I was so surprised to see him here in the first place.
That man is a very busy man with all his work, yet he made time to be here for Jacob. He told me that he just wanted to stop by to at least see Jacob during his very special day, and had been planning on getting to know you a little. Yet out of nowhere, you came along and said some rude things. If you were not married to Jacob, then that would have not been okay for you. I'm sure things have made things awkward for his mentor now, and I can't seem to find him anywhere to talk with about you.
Did I say something that happened to upset you and that old geezer? I don't remember a thing I said.
You sure did. You said to him that he resembled me, as someone who was nothing more than a moneyless single parent living in poverty. And then you told me he should marry me since we're both poor. Even if that was just meant to be a joke, it was not appropriate to say.
Well, he came during a time like this that is only meant for people that know one of the two that are getting married. And he looked too old to be associated with Jacob, so I just assumed you both were dating or something. And I assumed by the way he looked, he'd be a perfect match for a single mother like you. Wasn't it kind of me to try and get you another husband so that you wouldn't be as lonely anymore?
Do not say things like that about him. That man already has a wife of his own, and they've been living together for 35 years now. And you have never seen him before, so what you said was very rude. Did you forget about what I had asked from you a few days ago?
I remember you saying something about me. What was that? Something about how you always annoy me or something? I guess I don't remember it though, so it must not have been that important. Sorry.
I asked you to at least act nice towards me during the wedding today. But by the way you're acting, you're going to make things very difficult for Jacob. You don't want everyone to start thinking that you don't care about everyone here today, and that you don't have any manners, right? So please, stop acting so childish towards everyone and behave yourself.
All right, my bad. Are you happy now?
I'm telling you that your attitude right there is not okay today. Talking to you through our phones doesn't seem to be getting the message across. You're fine for time, so come over here and let me have a word with you. If you can't seem to find any time, I'll come over there and we can talk.
No thanks. Seriously, stop trying with me today, okay? Why do I have to be the one to act nice towards you when this is my wedding to begin with? I don't need you nagging me constantly about how upset you are.
Well, if you could just act like an adult, we wouldn't have to worry about each other anymore, right? I'm not going to let you act that way towards me anymore today, so please come and see me. I'll even let Jacob know that I'm asking for you to come see me.
All right then. It's not like the wedding is going to start soon anyway. And I was planning to come see you soon here as well. I'll let Jacob know and then I'll be over there to talk with you face to face.
Thank you, China.
Leah, the wedding's going to start soon. I can't find you anywhere. Where did you run off to?
Don't you dare act like you don't know what's going on. You're the one that had kicked me out of there, right?
What? Did I really do that? I just asked that anyone who is worthless go home. I never said anything about having you thrown out of there, Leah.
You had no right saying that to me. You came into that room with me and spilled coffee all over my dress. And at that point, there was nothing else I could do for myself.
No, that was your fault for that one. I had asked that you not to worry about the wedding, but then you came here and started mouthing off to me even more. And having to listen to an old hag run her mouth really pissed me off.
And after all those warnings I gave you, you still couldn't manage to see that this is due to your bad attitude, right?
But that right there is really annoying. I didn't ask for you to start talking to me like that about the way I like to act. Also, when I asked that everyone worthless leave, the security must have thought you were pretty meaningless at my wedding. See, it's not just me that knows how awful of an in-law you are.
Is that so? Well, I can see that I'm not going to get to you. I'm tired of trying to get you to act like a proper adult. Go ahead and act however you'd like.
Sucks that you won't be able to take part in your special son's wedding today. I can see by how easily you've given up that this was a huge blow to your pride, right?
I'm sure it was a huge blow. I should have handled you before this happened. I should have let Jacob know all about what you had done.
Well, now, you don't have to worry about that now. I'll make sure to send you some pictures of the wedding later. And that should get you to shut up.
What pictures?
I just told you pictures of the wedding, you idiot. You can't be telling me that Alzheimer's has caught up to you this early.
China, you're still the bride today. You still can't see what's happening? The wedding has been canceled, right? So there's going to be no photos of your wedding today.
Huh? What are you talking about, Leah? I'm tired of such boring jokes.
This is no joke and everything is very much reality. Maybe you could go ask Jacob, or even ask your own parents to confirm.
I'm not going to fall for some blatant lie like that. It's just about time for the wedding to start now, okay? There's no way the wedding could get canceled right now.
Well, I know that you've always thought about things from your own point of view. Go ahead and keep thinking that there will be a wedding today. I don't care.
I can tell that all of this is killing you right now, and that's why you're trying to scare me with that bullcrap. I'm sure you don't want to be the only person today that's miserable. You've already been thrown out because of what you did, so you can stop all the lying. All you're doing is making me hate you more and more. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. And my parents are coming my way now, so I can't sit around and waste my time with you anymore.
Is that so? Thank goodness. I've gotten tired of having to listen to you talk about everything being my fault. I'll let your parents handle the rest for me.
Fine. I'll let you think that everything will go wrong for me. Now, I have a fun day ahead of me to attend to. You can go home or something and wait there all by yourself. When the wedding's done, I'll let you know. Wait, the wedding is actually being canceled right now. And worse is that both Jacob and my parents are furious with me. What the hell were you thinking lying to them about me?
What the hell were you thinking spilling coffee on your mother-in-law and then having her kicked out of your wedding?
Huh? You just ruined my wedding and think you get to blame me for that? Everything is ruined now because of you coming today.
But from the beginning, the whole reason this happened is because of you, right? There's no reason you should be trying to blame anyone else for the way you acted. And I never lied to any of them about you.
What the hell do you mean? If it wasn't you that started talking crap about me, then why does everyone know what happened?
I'm sure that other people wondered where I went, and so they started looking for me. And I'm sure that someone saw that I was covered in coffee and on my way out of the building. Actually, one person did ask me where I was going, and I told them what had happened before the door closed on me.
So you did start lying to someone about this?
Lying about what? I had coffee spilled all over my head and back by you. And my dress and hair were proof of that. There's no way you were going to hide all that you'd done to me from everyone there.
When that happens, you should be dead inside and let things be. I just covered you in coffee and ruined your dress, so you should have known you'd been defeated and that there was nothing else you could do. You knew that this was your son's wedding, right? Why would you do something to ruin that for him? You're a terrible mother.
Well then, what was the point of spilling coffee on me? If you didn't want to make a scene, you should have just came and spoke to me like an adult. I told you that all you had to do was act kind to everyone today, but you couldn't help yourself. Anyway, the person that saw me on the way out and asked what had happened was your mom. So I had no choice but to tell the truth. And why did you think I'd never talk about something like this?
I'm the one that's pissed now. Yet you keep trying to talk to me like I'm in the wrong. Who do you even think you are? You're just some old hag living in poverty, while I actually have money and am saving your son from living in the shadows like you.
You're asking me who I think I am? I think that I'm your mother-in-law. Actually, I know I am. And that's why I was being kind and caring for you by warning you to not act out of line today. If you would have just stayed quiet today and acted like someone who was happy to be married, then you would have never had to see your wedding fall apart.
So what? Did you think I'd be thankful for telling me to be kind? After all you did to me?
I don't want you to be thankful, rather I just wanted you to heed my warnings. And I wasn't even asking you to be careful about anything so far out of line.
Well, if you only wanted that, then next time maybe keep your mouth quiet. Who do you think is to blame for all of this? Take responsibility for it right now.
To make sure something like this would never happen, I tried my best to warn you. And yet you were the one that ignored me, right? I guess I should have tried harder to make sure that you could act like an adult before all of this, because you obviously don't know how to yourself. But even with that thought in my head, I will not be responsible for what you did.
Stop screwing around. I just lost the most important moment of my life. And now they're saying that I'll have to pay for the whole thing. And the next wedding isn't going to be free either, Leah.
And who will that next wedding be with?
With Jacob, of course. But because of this, we're not going to let you come.
Have you not heard anything from him yet? He already told me that he's going to be divorcing you.
What? Divorcing me?
I had been trying so hard to stop that from happening for a while now. But since he thinks this is the right choice, I won't tell him otherwise.
Wait, hold on a minute. Why does he want to get a divorce at a time like this?
If you took a second to think about what you've done, you'd understand why. Aren't your parents really upset with you now as well? And they told you that you'd have to pay for the whole wedding yourself, right?
I didn't think they were being serious, though. How much will that all cost me? I don't have enough to pay for all of this.
Well, in the divorce, you'll also have to split properties, right? Maybe you can get some money in that, depending on what the lawyer thinks.
I'm not even saying that I'm okay with being divorced. So there's no way he can just do it without my permission. Do something to stop all of this.
I had tried to do something to stop this earlier as your mother-in-law. But you looked down on me and never once listened to a word I said about being a bit less rude to me. So there's nothing else I'm going to do for you now. It'll all fall on deaf ears anyways.
But you should be trying to do something as my in-law. Your daughter-in-law is in trouble, so you have to help me.
You think that, but take a look at your own parents. They have no plans of helping you, so why would I when I'm not even related to you by blood?
They aren't going to help me? What do you mean?
They're planning on cutting ties with you. They told me that you're not welcome back to their house after the divorce.
You're kidding, right? Then what should I do now?
Why don't you think about that yourself? Before you have to ask a single mother anything, let's see what you can do on your own. If you cannot figure anything out, then that means you're worse than me, right? After that, Jacob and China became divorced. It was a rough road getting there, but after China's parents forced her to go meet with Jacob's lawyer and talk about all the details, there was nowhere left for her to run. She had tried to plead that this was all due to me bullying her, but Jacob could see through her lies and made it clear that he no longer loved her, and that is what made her realize she had lost. But even though she was no longer married to Jacob, she still had a long and terrible road ahead of her. As her parents had said before, the whole wedding and the cancellation fees had to be paid by her and only by her. And luckily for her, she was able to get enough from Jacob in the divorce due to the splitting of their properties and money, and could pay it all off without having to take out any sort of borrowed money. But because she spent every last penny she had on that wedding, she no longer had enough to pay for herself to live. She had always been a housewife for Jacob while he worked, and so she never had any money of her own to begin with. And on top of being moneyless, she also had no home to go back to, and so she was really in between a rock and a hard place. I may no longer be her mother-in-law, but after seeing how far she's fallen after disregarding my warnings to her, I only hope that she'll find a way to grow up and squeeze her way out of this very narrow hole that she's found herself in. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.